Well, we kick off taking a look at the diplomatic fallout where the United States of America obviously has basically kicked Ebrahim Rasool out of the United States of America. And we're joined now by Save South Africa's civic movement president, Sydney Monnakgotla, to discuss further. Sydney, good afternoon to you. As always, we appreciate your time and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers at home.
Yes, clearly South Africa-US tensions certainly have been rising for a long time, and we've seen it very, very early on in his presidency when Donald Trump took office and targeting South Africa. And I'm not surprised personally. I'm not surprised that what has happened with Ebrahim Rasool. It was going to be a matter of time as well. I'm not too sure, whether this came as a surprise to you, Sydney.
Look, we have been observing the development in the United States, particularly since AfriForum and Solidarity went to America and spreading all lies about our country and the stand that our government is taking. But as an organization, we are very concerned, and we have been concerned from the beginning that our president is very silent. And we are saying that in matters like this, we can't apply silence diplomacy. It requires a president to act with agility, and that because this is a matter of national importance, this is a matter of international importance. So we were not surprised, but we knew from the beginning that the president is not saying anything. The president is not acting on these matters, and the situation might escalate.
Yes, Sydney. In fact, Sydney, what you are saying is the inaction on the part of the president. Now, this is not something new, where we know that in the past our president has been criticized for remaining silent on many issues. And this obviously is an absolutely critical issue. When one looks at Donald Trump, and initially he had a go at Mexico about tariffs. He had a go at Canada. He had a go at a number of other countries, and what we saw was China as well. And we saw an immediate response from those countries to Donald Trump, where to an extent he even had to back down and he had to basically back off. Now, this obviously is of major concern because on the one hand, you've had somebody like Ebrahim Rasool, a representative of South Africa to the United States of America, appointed by the president as the ambassador. And clearly at this point in time, we should have heard something come through from the presidency.
No, definitely. Hence, we're saying that he can apply silence diplomacy on these matters. We have seen other countries pushing back and eventually Donald Trump retracting from his initial positions. But look, the expulsion of Ebrahim Rasool is something which could have been avoided. The situation couldn't have gotten to this stage where now the relationship now it's souring up now. So the president could have avoided this. Look, the only thing that we heard from the president ever since Donald Trump started making those remarks and comments through social media was that when the president was addressing one of the gatherings, and he kept on saying that we are not going to be bullied. We are not going to be bullied. Look, he had an obligation as the state president to engage with the government of America but following the formal communication protocol or the diplomatic protocols in terms of communication. He couldn't. Donald Trump, everyone, I think the world by now knows what the type of character is Donald Trump now. You understand? Ever since he took office, he has been making so much remarks. He has done so much, and most of the things that he has done through social media. I mean, one have seen how he handled the meeting between himself and Zelensky of Ukraine. I mean, he has this tendency of demonstrating power and authority over other nations and countries and their president as well. But here is a clear demonstration of disrespect by Donald Trump to other countries, including South Africa. But we are not saying, what we are saying is that our government, our president should not fall for that. We have an obligation to observe the communications protocol. If Donald Trump is communicating with our government through Twitter, then we shouldn't follow that. We need to stick to the official and diplomatic communication relations. We can't stoop to that level. And
Yes.
and it is our contention that should have our president acted early on these matters because he could have seen it was clear that the tensions now were getting sour now, and the president was supposed to have acted at that time.
Yes, but also, Sydney, when you look at the whole sequence of events that have obviously taken place, where we found the US president leading the charge, and at that point in time, he described terrible things happening to white South Africans in the country. And then, you spoke about AfriForum and about solidarity. And then we have seen over and above that funding, obviously, with regard to HIV/AIDS. That obviously became an issue where he cut the funding as well. And now, when Ebrahim Rasool made the statement talking about Trump and his administration leading a global white supremacist movement, okay, that seemed to have been the final straw that broke the camel's back, and clearly it was a nail in the coffin. And this obviously didn't go down too well. In fact, Rubio himself, actually the Secretary of State, felt very, very strongly about this statement. But at the end of the day, I don't know, could Ebrahim Rasool have been a lot more diplomatic in your view?
Look, in the absence of leadership, these things are bound to happen. You understand? Because if this engagement could have been formalized, particularly from the office of our president, we wouldn't have seen individuals going out making utterances. You understand? But in the absence of such leadership, then these things will happen. And we cannot blame Ebrahim Rasool for his utterances. He was speaking his opinion, his view and observation on the developments. But we are saying that our government failed to develop a position around that matter. And then remember that once you develop a position, there are guidelines on how we carry out ourselves or in terms of engaging to that specific issue. But our government should have taken a lead and engaged the office of the President of America or the American government. But in the absence of leadership, then the vacuum is created. Everyone else will go out and talk. But how American government handled this matter of Ebrahim Rasool, I think they are trying to send a message and suppress any dissenting voice against them. They are trying to instill fear to everyone who will speak ill against them or who will criticize the administration of Donald Trump. The message is to say to them that should you try this again, this is what will happen to you. It's just to instill fear to other people.
In fact, this was going to be my next question. But what we'll do right now, Sydney, is we're going to go for a quick ad break. We'll put you on hold. We'll be back.
Thank you, sir.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Imagine a world where every child feels loved, secure, and cared for. At Beit Halima Saadia Orphanage, we are not just providing a roof over their heads, we're giving orphan children a chance for a brighter future. For just 1,500 rands a month or 18,000 rands a year, you can sponsor an orphan and transform their life. Your contribution covers essentials like food, clothing, tuition, therapy, and more, ensuring they grow in a nurturing, supportive environment. Any donation is accepted as well as daily scheduled donations. EFT directly into our account. Beit Halima Saadia Orphanage, First National Bank, account number 6313-1080-078, branch code 250 737, Section 18A registered. Take this step today. Contact Sister Nazarene at 083 653 5669 or email info@bhscycc.co.za.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Our brothers and sisters in Palestine are enduring unimaginable hardships. Ashraful Aid teams are on the ground, delivering crucial aid to those in need. But we can't do it alone. Palestine is suffering and they need your help. Your support can make a world of difference. Visit www.ashrafulaid.org today and donate to bring hope, relief, and healing to those who are in need.
This Ramadan, make a conscious choice, sip for change, and support Palestine Drinks Africa. With every can, you help end the genocide and stand in solidarity with Palestine. Choose between our original or sugar-free options, available in a case of 24. Every sip is a step towards justice. Every purchase, a powerful message of unity and support for the Palestinian cause. Contact 082 888 1440 or 082 7739 556 today and be part of the change. Palestine Drinks Africa. Sip for change. Liberty for everyone.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Well, we continue our discussion with Save South Africa Civic Movement President. We're talking with Sydney Monnakgotla about the diplomatic fallout and the whole question surrounding Ebrahim Rasool, and also in terms of being declared a persona non grata. Now, Sydney, let's just continue now. We see some response that has come through from the President's office, and talking about maintaining diplomatic decorum, in response to what has actually happened. But also at the same time, when one looks at Ebrahim Rasool, on the one hand, he recognized the fact that South Africa, it's important for South Africa to mend any relations with the United States of America, because it is quite significant as a trading partner. But also at the same time, we know Trump, many call him a transactional president. And this is what Ebrahim Rasool had also mentioned. A transactional approach is required in dealing with the Trump administration, but also at the same time maintaining South African values. And I think this is very, very important to understand, Sydney, because we have a value system that we subscribe to here in South Africa, in comparison to what we've seen in the last 2 months playing out in the United States of America. It tells us a different story altogether. It's basically chalk and cheese in terms of the value system of Donald Trump and one that we hold in South Africa.
Look, we are not saying that President Ramaphosa must go and dance to the tune of Donald Trump. And we agree that America it's one of our largest trading partners, and America is important to us much as we are important to America. And but our only concern is that should these tensions escalate, then who will suffer the most? These are the ordinary people of this country. Once we rely on employment from American companies which are investing in this country, and those South African citizens who are employed in America. So we are saying that there is a need to mend this relationship. We cannot allow it to escalate to a point where now there won't be any more trade relationship between the two countries. We are saying that there's still an opportunity for our government to engage officially with America. Look, we understand what has been happening, particularly since, Donald Trump withdrawn the US aid from our country and other countries. But we are saying that there should have been a formal engagement. If our president would have taken an initiative and said that, look, I have tried one, two, three, but this was rejected by Donald Trump or the American government. Therefore, we will understand that we tried our best, and this is Donald Trump who's behaving like this. And we know from that point, as a nation, that this is the type of America now that we are dealing with. And we will, as a nation, we'll have an understanding that, but our president has tried everything. But at this stage, the president don't have anything tangible to say that there's a proof that I've tried. For my part, I've tried. It's only what we are calling for, that the president must play his part.
Yes, but also I think certainly, the position that we find ourselves in South Africa. South Africa is an extremely important player in the global South. Whether Trump likes it or not, or whatever he thinks of us or not, what he thinks of Africa, the African continent, all of that is absolutely meaningless, because we are still a very, very important player on the African continent, in the global South as well. And even the EU, the European Union, has also recognized South Africa and its important role as one of the leading voices as far as the global South is concerned as well. And Trump obviously needs to recognize that as well. And once again, it comes to the issue that you spoke to earlier about the approach and the response, and how do we respond, knowing that we are an important and integral part. So you can't just take these things lying down. When Trump initially made the statement with regard to the whites, and they were being persecuted and offering them asylum and all sorts of things, at the end of the day, we needed to adopt even a more stronger approach, or a more direct approach, with regards to what AfriForum and Solidarity and all of them had intended doing. And this, at the end of the day, would have sent a very strong message and a signal to the Trump administration that, you are making this statement, but we can also hold our own as far as the country is concerned, and also in terms of our position in the global South.
Look, not that we agree with what AfriForum and Solidarity have done, but clearly, even on that one, that is it is simply because of lack of leadership. Since they have went to America, the first thing is that, why would they, jump our government and go and engage the president of another country? So that on its own, but still on the same matter, our president applied the silence diplomacy. Hence, even to there is no consequences for those who have created all these tensions, which is AfriForum and Solidarity. The president is silent, and then as a country, we are very worried that the behavior of these two organizations are going to strain the relationship between the two countries, and our government is silent about that. And as a result of that, they can't even reprimand the two organizations and make them to face the consequences of their action, because they are the creators of this mess. Look, we can engage on the speculations that no, America is behaving so just like this because of South Africa taking Israel to the International Criminal Court of Justice. But the mere fact, the fact is that there is a matter before us confronting our country, where the citizens of this country goes to the the president of another country, you understand, to seek his intervention in the matters of internal matters of our country. So that on its own is unacceptable. But still, our government played and applied the silent diplomacy in that. And hence, we have seen the situation escalating until even the Ebrahim Rasool has been expelled from America.
Yes, Sydney. But also, Sydney, I think, what you're saying is very true because look, often, as I mentioned, there has been criticism that has been leveled against our president, and to the extent where even in his previous term as president, many referred to him as a very lame duck president, and obviously not, when he required to open his mouth, he wouldn't open his mouth, and this could be one of the reasons where it's the type of person he is, but also now the fact that he is now the president of a government of national unity. And I'm not too sure, and perhaps you can guide me on this to say that, why is he silent on this? Is it because he's leading a very different type of government at this point in time? Because within the GNU, you've got quite a mixed bag. You've got those that are also sympathetic to America, that are sympathetic to Donald Trump, that are sympathetic to Israel as well. So, all of this put together tells us that perhaps maybe that could be one of the reasons why we're not seeing a stronger approach on the part of the South African president.
Look, at this stage, we can't speculate on why the president is behaving like this. But one thing that we are quite certain of is that our president, from the inception of his administration, we have known him as someone who would go out and make promises and promises and promises, but he has never fulfilled all those promises. We've known him to be such type of a person. But there are situations, other situations that calls you to come out of your comfort zone and confront them as they arise. And I mean, firstly, when AfriForum and Solidarity started making those statements and that they will go to America, they could have been reprimanded at that time. That's why the president was supposed to take a very firm stance against whatever that you are doing. I mean, it will compromise our national security. It will compromise our diplomatic relations with America. You understand? So these people shouldn't have even went to America. They could have been reprimanded at an early stage before they take action. And also, even when Donald Trump, after they go to America, they met with Donald Trump. Now Donald Trump started making statements. That's where our president was supposed to have acted at that point. It is, you understand? In the midst of all those allegations, false allegations and lies which were spread all over the world against our country, I mean, the president cannot keep quiet. We are only calling for the president to take his rightful position and act accordingly and decisively, because it's something that he's not doing at the moment.
Yes, Sydney. Sydney, we're going to have to leave it at that, but as always, we thank you. We do appreciate you taking time out, and all the best to you. I'm sure we will follow developments very, very closely, as you will be as well. But for now, we thank you for your time, as always.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Sydney Monnakgotla joining us this afternoon, Save South Africa Civic Movement President. And with that, we're going to go for a break. We come back, it's going to be our Voices from Palestine segment together with the PSA this afternoon. We've got Solidarity activist Jared Sachs, and we are going to be talking about countering Zionist propaganda, and particularly looking at the media and media activism for Palestine.